All right, it's time for me to talk about how I change every single item in Smite 2 right now, and let's start off with Amanita Charm. You don't see anyone buying this, it just needs to be more specialized in the healing department, so probably bump it up to 5 HP 5% HP 5 per second, just so you get more people actually buying it, and also 15 protections of each type is just not very valuable, especially because this was an early game buy item. I think you could use with just a little bit of buff. Exile. I think this item's actually perfectly fine right now. No one's really touching it so much, but I think that's a good thing. It shouldn't just be an auto buy. It should be like, okay, I need magical protection and I want some defense against basic attacks. So like your souls, your I don't think there's another person in. I don't know, but I don't think Bari does magical damage. I think she does physical, I want to say. No, I think she does magical. Anyways, if you have Bari, you build this, right? Stuff like that. Erendite, I would just give it a little bit more movement speed because it doesn't feel as mm, cracked as it did on launch, and I think that actually felt pretty good. So those would be the buffs I give that. Average Shoe, put it back up to 100. I think it was fine there, and I think that's kind of the point of these items would be a very big power influx, and it's just really expensive to build right now, especially with how much tanks are running around. It's kind of like you probably would rather have Titan's Bane over this sometimes. Depending, it really just depends on what the team comp is. But if you can play this into your build, it is really good. Avenging Blade, I don't like Avenging Blade just because it only works in the jungle, and even for that, it's not the strongest. Oh, I just win, right? Unless you're like a person that uses their really well, then yeah, it's just, I just win, I guess. Like if you're Achilles, but you already just win if you're Achilles. You already win if you're just Ymir. So I think for this, I probably would split this into two items. I would make Frostbound Hammer a item. I don't know, give it like similar stats to this 300 HP, 30 strength, something like that. Something similar to, or is it Rune Forge Hammer? That's not Rune Forge Hammer, but something similar to Rune Forge Hammer. And then the pin is already a thing, so just Executioner, right? Because I just don't like that this is the effect that you get in the jungle, because it also doesn't have attack speed to pair with it, so it doesn't have anything that helps it out with the attack speed and applying the slow and applying the pin. So I think that's the only thing I would really do. And I'll probably put stone cutting back in the game. I think stone cutting was one of the best, coolest items. And just make stone cutting this. So I guess bam, there's your thing. Stone cutting and frostbound. Split them. Bancrofts, I think this just needs a big buff to the lifesteal that it gives, because at max this gives you 25% lifesteal when you're at 40%. That's not enough when you're like about to die, and no one buys this except for when you're trolling and building a lifesteal build. Because even now, I think lifesteal is so undervalued or overvalued, excuse me. It's one of the most expensive stats, yet you don't get much out of it. Like if you're looking at, where's the anti-heal item? Brawler's Beat Stick. This is a lot cheaper, 100 gold cheaper. Not too much cheaper, but it's giving you 40% reducing of that healing. So it's just giving you more for less. It also has pin on it, and I think I think what will actually make the lifesteal build a lot better too is giving Typhon's 10% pin or 25% pin. Like make it like Titan's main, but just have pin on it. And I think it'll be a lot more valuable of a pick. I don't think it should be as expensive. Honestly, you could just give it 10% pin, and I think it'll be relatively fine of item. Berserkers, I think this is actually insane. Probably would reverse how it gives you attack speed. But 15 attack speed on the item, and then the passive gives you 25. And then reduce how many prods you get from the passive. Holy cow. You're getting 45 prods from this item. That is wicked insane. Wicked insane. Bloodbound book. Mm, Probably just about the lifesteal once again. Like put it up to 18% lifesteal. Because I think that's just the problem with lifesteal items. They don't get a lot of lifesteal. Like 12% lifesteal for a whole item doesn't feel good. Yes, when you activate the passive, you get 20% more, so you get 32. But that's only for what, 6 seconds? Yeah, 6 seconds. It's just you need something a little bit more valuable than that, to me. Same thing with Bloodforge, put up to 15 lifesteal, and then you're going to be getting 35 while active. And I think the attack speed I already gives is a nice little bonus. Maybe put that up to 15. Who knows? Just make it more valuable of a buy that it doesn't feel like you can't buy it, Because 10% lifesteal base is just not feeling good, especially since minions have 33% reduced lifesteal on them. So you're not healing off minions. This is only really for PvP, and you're only getting 10%. Book of Thoth, I think you probably could see a little bit of a nerf. Or maybe don't nerf this and just leave it the same, but buff other mage items, because it feels like this is an auto buy for the last 5 months. This has been auto buy, so just probably we'll say lower the base int on it, and then increase the int that you get from the passive, just to make it more of a specialized item. You're getting 20 intelligence flat, and then you have to work for the rest of your intelligence by building mana. And you should be wanting to build mana with this. Like, it should be I'm going to build mana and actually be thinking about it. Like, you should be building Soul Reaver if you go Book of Thoth. You should be building what else gives? Not that much stuff gives mana. Because Rod doesn't give mana. Oh, it does? Well, shoot, there it is. Rod gives mana, like stuff like that. Let's see. Bracer, literally Bracer. I think the main thing I would do to Bracer is I I want to say, because the problem is it's hard to apply all the stacks, and then when you do apply all the stacks, you you're still not that much more powerful than just getting a dagger or frenzy. Because what you need 10 basic attack. No, you need 6 basic attacks or abilities to hit, and for each one you get basic attack damage. So you get up to 60 basic attack damage plus intelligence. So that if you don't have weird scaling and you have normal scaling on your thing, what almost 50 intelligence turns to 25% of 50. So about 10, I believe, yeah, 10ish. You're getting about 10ish, really 8, I guess, since it's 45. So 8. So you're getting 68 basic attack damage with this item. 68 basic attack damage once you hit 6 autos or 6 abilities, and they add up, obviously. And you're getting 30 attack speed. But when you look at something like Death or Dagger Frenzy, you're getting 5 auto attacks off the rip, usually 10 if you time it well, and has a 15-second cooldown, so you're just getting this constantly whenever you want to fight. You're getting this constantly, and I'm pretty sure you have to hit this on a god or jungle boss. So it's not just hit your lane minions, you get this. You have to be hitting a god. Compared to Dagger Frenzy, you're getting 50 strength, so you're already starting stronger, just baseline, than than Bracer of the Abyss, and you're getting 10 plus 3 per level for your base attacks. So level 5, let's say, is when you get this, you're already getting 25 base attack damage added. So you're getting 25, so you're getting 75 base strength, base attack damage, and strength. So your ability are still scaling if you're mainly a strength scaler. This is just infinitely better than Bracer of the Abyss. And yes, it has like less attack speed, sure. I can concede that. But you're also getting 30% attack speed from the passive. So you're actually getting up to 40. So this item, when it's active, and it's active pretty much all the time whenever you're fighting someone, 75 strength, baseline, and that keeps going up as the game goes on. And 40 attack speed. That's insane. Compared to Bracer Abyss. Sure, it's a little bit cheaper, so it should be a little bit worse. Actually, no, it's more expensive, actually. No. So it's more expensive, and it's worse. Literally, I think all you have to do is let this stack up off minions, and it's infinitely better, because then you can engage after clearing the wave. So where Dagger Frenzy, you clear the wave, then you use it to fight, or you stack it up in the jungle, or whenever you come back to lane, you just use it. And this one, you're mainly it kind of serves the same niche. So maybe you do just have to get rid of one of them. One's the int version, one's a strength version, I guess. But I don't know. Either make this like super scale up, make it like every auto attack you hit, you get 5 strength, but it has infinite scaling, so it can keep just going up and up and up and up. I think that's also another way to solve it. Raggy Harp, I think, is perfectly fine. That's one of the stronger items, and it just got a little bit of a heavier nerf, I believe, than other items, I want to say. Brawlers, I think, is fine. I just think buff life still before you nerf brawlers, because I think brawlers, you want it to be something that you can buy, and it's not like Smite 1 where it's like, oh, it felt really good to buy brawlers because it had 15% or 15 flat pin on it. This only has 5% pin, and 50 strength. 50 strength is relatively high for strength right now since ever since the nerf, because like that's 40, that's 40, that's 35. What's another one? That's 15, I think. No, 20. That's 30, right? So one of the higher strength items, so it does feel good when you do buy it. But it's not, like, oh my gosh, I have 15 flat pin. So I think it's fine where it is. I think this is fine where it is. Maybe put it back up to that 35% cooldown rate just to give tanks, like actual traditional tanks, a reason to go traditional tank and not just bruiser. Surprised we haven't got a bruiser item yet, because, or I guess we got one. And I was like, yeah, let's flip the items so they don't get as much. And probably actually take it down to 40 attack speed in total. Because, well, actually, no, I think you get 40. Yeah, you get 40. 25 plus 15, 40. Probably bring it down to 35, because it's no reason why this is giving the most attack speed in the game. Or at least tied with, item that only gives attack speed. Actually, wait, oh, this didn't get nerfed. Okay, then you only get it has 5% less attack speed than most attack speed item in the game. That only builds off attack speed. And this is also cheaper. Yeah. Yeah, that's insane. Like, that's just insane to say, just to see. Um, Chronospin it. Chronospin, I think it's fine, honestly, where it is right now. Cersei's headstone is fine. It's perfect. It does it what it needs to do perfectly. If you're a non-movement oriented god or have no movement in your kit, you go Cersei's headstone, and it's literally the pinnacle of Smite items. I think, in my opinion, it serves a perfect niche. It's not for everybody, and you can't just slap it on your build. But you can't slap it on your build, and it will be good, but it won't really serve your greatness, if that makes sense. And there's always going to be probably better items for your build than this. Dagger Frenzy, already discussed what to do. I think this is fine. You just have to bring Bracer of the Abyss up to this level. Death Metal. Ooh. What would I do for Death Metal? I think Death Metal is honestly fine where it is. I don't know. I really don't know why people don't buy it, because it's really good for ejective shredding. So I couldn't even say why people don't buy it. I think it's perfectly fine how it is. Yeah, I think it's just perfectly fine. It's really good if you can use both strength and int. I think just bring down the cost to make it a little bit more affordable. Put it more in line with Dagger Frenzy. Maybe not as the same cost, but like 260 or 2,600, something like that. And I think it'll be more buy. It's just too expensive for people to want to buy, because like, look, 5 less or 50 less gold than Deathbringer, and it's barely giving you more strength. And Deathbringer has that insane passive for crit. Also gives you 25% crit chance. I just think, and it's a lot harder to use this, and it has a cooldown. So yeah, Demon Blade, I think it's perfectly fine. I think it was giving too much attack speed, but ever since they nerfed it, it only gives 30 now. I believe you see 35, 40 something. So it's down a little bit, so that's good. Demonic Grip. You really, I think for Demonic Grip, what you have to do is you have to, because right, if you're going an int-based auto attack build, it's because you want your abilities to do damage, or you're Mordred, I guess, and have special qualities about what you do. Or you're Zeus, maybe, well, I guess Zeus still gets the bonus int damage from his abilities, right? That's why he's building it. But I think this just has to be stronger, because nobody really is ever building this over Executioner. And I'm pretty sure, is this more expensive? Okay, they're the same price. But in general, this probably needs to give more pen. It probably needs to give more pen, if I had to guess, because I think there needs to be a reason to go int auto attack, and it just doesn't mesh well, because there's no int item that has cooldown and attack speed on it anymore, because Bracer Abyss doesn't give that anymore. It used to, but now it doesn't. So I think you just need to give it a spot to shine, because it just doesn't shine. It just doesn't. I really just think you need to change the passive, because it can't be competing with Executioner. It can't. It's just not. So I think probably what I would do is I would change the passive to literally, for every ability that you hit, you now probably gain 20 attack speed. Maybe that's insane. 20 attack speed per ability. Let's say assassin 4 times. You can go up to 80 attack speed, or almost 100 attack speed of this item alone. But I think that gives you a reason to go int. auto attack. You know that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do actually. It's gonna be kind of like Cyclopean Ring where it scales off your intelligence and gives you attack speed for it. But the difference is this is more because then it's competing pretty hard with that. But I guess this one you would actually have to hit your autos. This one because are you going? How much int can you get up to? Probably like about 600. So you're getting about what? How much attack speed is that? 600 divided by 30 is 200 or two, not 200, but 20, right? I want to say that's 20. That sounds like 20. 260 plus 0, yeah. So it'll be about 20. So you're getting 40 attack speed and 40 basic attack damage. But that's all the time, right? So I think I would change the mono grip to just something like that to where you're scaling it up, and then like late game you have around per ability that you hit, you gain 15 attack speed, something around there. So it gives you a reason to want to go demonic grip because it'll give you more attack speed. You'll have more attack speed than a like a regular hunter build. So I think you just need a reason to go int in the first place, and you need to have a balance between them two. But yeah, that's just me. Devourer's Gauntlet. I think it's fine right now, honestly. I think it's more of a jungle item. But I think the only problem with it is maybe it doesn't have a lot of late game payoff, so I'll probably just buff it back up to where it was to but put it on the passive and just give the passive like 10 more damage to late game. That's about it. Divine Ruin, I think Divine Ruin is a fine item, anti-heal item. Dominance. Oh my gosh, they gutted this item when putting it in Smite 2. Literally change it because it's so stupid. It gets affected by prots basically twice because it does damage as if you had 20% as the target has 20% less protections. So if it's so that target is super tanky, this will do more. And if the target is not as tanky, it will do less, right? Because it's just working off per prots. So if the target has like what five prots, it's not gonna do really. It's not really changing your damage any much that much. Or well, I guess it kind of is. But anyways, the problem is it just gets affected by pin, and it's supposed to be like a semi pin item. It just doesn't make sense. Just change it. Just revert it back to what it was. I think the whole point for carries is to stride tanks, and not letting them do this with dominance is kind of crazy. That's just me. Or you can just make it the more pin that you have, the more attack speed you get. So remove the attack speed on item, put it on the passive, and then this should be a late game item after you get all your pin online. And the more pin you have, the more, you know, attack speed you get. So probably up to like 30 attack speed it could give you. Or maybe probably a little bit has to be a little bit more, so like 40 maybe. I don't know. Just but it would just be a late game item that you'll build and choose. Oh, do I really want kins or do I want pen or like it will make you have to make a lot more decisions in general. Doom Orb, I think it has its place. I think the main problem to me is it 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 kind of it's just too expensive. It's the same problem that Doom Orb had in Smite 1. And the thing that makes it a lot less valuable in Smite 2 is it just doesn't have a tier 2 upgrade. I think you just have to give it a tier 2 upgrade that is Doom Orb specific. So it will just give you movement speed and a lower tier Doom Orb pretty much. So you could at least wait off on that item and then build it later. Or make it just a tier 2 item. Like I've been preaching this. Or just have a like cheap item that is really good. That's it. Make it a cheap item that's really good. Bring back tier 2s. I think tier 2s actually make a difference in your building because it's like, okay, are you going to sacrifice this gold? Or actually, I had an idea for items, and it was something called curse or curse items. And pretty much curse items you can't sell, but they're really powerful early game, or they have a really powerful effect late game, but you have to sacrifice your early game. So pretty much it's sacrificing some portion of your game to have a benefit in a different portion of the game. So Doom Orb to me would be you sacrifice your late game, but you have a really good early game. Like this would give you an insane amount of power for the cost It'll be very cost effective, but you have to keep it the whole entire game and you can't sell it. That'll be my idea. So probably like bump it up to, or like keep it at what the stats it is now, make it cost. How much does this cost? A little bit less than that. Like 200 gold less than Chronos Pendant. Like that would be what I would say. Or well, I guess you wouldn't be able to leave it now. But like put it down like to Chronos Pendant power, maybe a little bit less. Like put it down to 50 power. Keep give it 5 flat pin, and then bam, you have a really good item that's cheap, but is going to fall off late game because it has flat pin on it, doesn't have percent pin on it anymore, and it has no form of scaling in it. Maybe that's a little bit too powerful. It's kind of hard to say with like Smite 2 items. I'm not gonna say I have a full grasp on it compared to Smite 1 items. I think because I just had 7 years to play with it. Well, Smite 2 only had like two, or I guess one about a year now, about 6 months, 7, 8 months, something like that. Dreamer's Idol, I think it's fine. Probably just do the same treatment with this, give it its power back that you took, since it's very expensive. Arrow's Bow, literally the only thing I could say, increase the max health that you get from this, because people just don't want to buy it because they have to be auto attacking. And like, who is this meant for? As a Guardian, you're not really wanting to build this because you're not going to be building a whole bunch of attack speed. So it works a lot better on soul lanes like Bologna's, like your Amas, and it's more so trying to keep your assassin alive in the back line with you. Or if you end up falling back in the fight, just whoever's low. Like if your carries are low, your other Guardian is low, whoever's low. So I think this could be I just think it just needs to be a little bit bigger of a hill. But the chains that they made to make it toggle and have an insane amount of range actually made it feel so much better than what it used to be. High Provenance, just remove it from the game and put War Chalice in. That's pretty much it. The Storm, I think this item's actually pretty good. I just think they need to buff the stats up to give it 5 prots, 10 prots on both, and then it'll be a pretty good item. Or just because I think it already is really good. If you have any kind of slow, it makes them not able to escape you. Like if you go this with Gym ISO on anybody, they can't escape they can't escape you by just walking. You're always going to be catching up to them. And I would I want to make this actually. I'm gonna change this item. Instead, I'm going to give this like 200 max HP, 25 strength. Right, keep all that the same, but give it attack speed because that's a problem that some attack speed users have, that they just can't stay catch up with they can't stay with their targets because they don't have very good CC like Nemesis. Nemesis CC really does suck, especially in Smite 2 where you have the Hasten Hussar's Wings, where you have all these kinds of where is it? I think of the item Stampede. You have your Xerxes Headstones, you have your Doom Orbs, you have all these things that give you movement speed, all these things that counter Nemesis, Arondites too, I guess. And basically it will just function as a way to keep people around you, and it will be more focused towards auto attack users instead of just whoever, I guess. I guess like auto attacks can still use this. Like I use this on Venom whenever I go support, but I don't know. I just think it needs a little bit more to it for like auto attack. So I don't think this is really good on ability users because you don't really need people to stay in your range. Gauntlet of Thieves is really good right now. Gem of Focus is fine. Gem Isolation, I think this is fine. Honestly, I don't know why people aren't building it as much because this is mainly a support and soul lane item. I think you should pretty much always be, not always, but like if you don't know what to build next, build this. This is just a flat good item. Maybe increase the slow up to 25 or 20, not 25. Well, and maybe but then you have to because I know it was a time in Smite where like people would just buy this item because it was like at a 25% slow, and I don't want to be go back down to that because then they had to nerf the timer on it to like 1 second, and then it became useless and no one bought it ever again, except for like your Anubises that were just wanting to slow people extra. I guess your Outposh always bought this. But yeah, stuff like that. I think it should. I think it can be. It's a nice flex item with how it is right now. Wow, I have so many items to go through. I'm gonna go quicker. How long has it been going on? 25 minutes. Holy frick. Oh, oh boy. Glad Shield. I think the thing that they did now is really good. 40% of your item protections. But lower it because fuck bruisers. Put it down to 30. Glorious Pridwin. I love the item. I think buff the cooldown back up to 25. I don't know what they're or 20. It's crazy that they nerfed this like that. I think the main problem is it's doing too much damage and the slow. So either you uh, keep the utility but remove some of the damage, put it down to like 100 of your shield because it's procs twice, so you're getting 300% of your protections as damage. So you end up doing like 300, 400 damage with this one item alone, depending on how much procs you have. So just reduce it down to 100 because then you're taking 50%, scaling off their protections. Code of Blade, I think is fine. Ascent, either remove the item or make it a decent item because you can't build this item. It's the same cost of, it's more expensive than Dagger of Frenzy, and Dagger of Frenzy is giving you 75 strength and 25 or 40 attack speed. This is giving you 20 attack speed and 20 strength, and doesn't even let you remove your basic attack penalty at all. What are we doing, game? I'm fine with it not like I just don't get why you have this item in the game if you just can't build it. You just can't. No matter who you are, I would actually like this on auto attack users to just keep up and be able to follow their target, but you can't. So I get some carries can like make this feel genuinely OP and oppressive, but I just never understood that because they're not doing as much. Would you rather a carry? Because a carry is gonna blow you up in 3 autos no matter what. If they have the dagger frenzy and they only need 3 autos to stay with you, and they're going to do that anyways. And when this was at like 2 autos to get, you got 50% and then 50%. I think it was even at a 4 stack, and you will be able to get all the way up after 4 auto attacks, which I think is very fair. Like I just remove the game, remove from the game because Hyris is never going to balance that, or just give it back 1 stack, one more stack up, so you can actually get back to a muting basic type movement penalty. Okay, Heartseeker, because I don't even think it's a good item. I don't think it was a good item when people were building it. People were just building it because it feels nice. Yes, items that feel nice. Guess what? People are gonna build. Heartseeker. I think it's just a very strong staple. I don't think it should be doing as much damage as your abilities. So knock down the strength too, but it's supposed to be like a real late game item. So I don't even know. I don't know how I would change it. Home and Darkness. The only thing I would change is put 25 or 35% on it, or 25 strength on it, so it doesn't feel just terrible for physicals to use. Home Radiance, just buff it up one more time. Like generally, like once again, I think with these infinite stacking, I would like to see more infinite stacking. Hey, you should be winning out on brawls if you're going long term in these fights with a Helm of Radiance. So I would say infinite stacks, but reduce the process you gain to 3. So after what, 8 times of getting hit, you're instantly better than Helm Radiance was, or I guess more like 9 hits, and you'd be better than Helm Radiance was. And then give it like a hard cap of like 100 physical prots. It makes it a good autumn, and it makes it easy to counterplay in lane because, oh, guess what? Stop hitting them for 5 seconds, run away, re-engage, run away, re-engage, run away, re-engage. That's how you'll play against someone playing Helm Radiance. And if it's an annoying playstyle to play against, well, you're playing Helm Radiance, they're not just gonna walk into you. High enemy line, I love it. Fuck carries sometimes. If you're a carry, I feel bad for you, but I think it needs to be strong to keep carries in their place. I think items like that are really good. So whenever like a certain class gets too strong, you have something that you can go that shuts them down. But it's not good. But it has to not be good enough to where it's just a normally bought item just because. And I think hiding line is just a little bit too good that it's just buy it. You know, it's just a just buy it item. Honestly, if you want to, if you don't care about not getting cooldown or anything, just buy it. Or Stars Wing, I don't think this is healthy for the game. Just having immunity to slows, but it is really expensive. So I guess if you want it, you have to buy something really expensive. But I don't think it's good for the game. Hydras. I know this actually got a. I actually like it here at the lower price point. I know they buffed it back up, but I think it would be cool to have this at a lower price point because when you're comparing it late game, something like Crusher, yes, this does do more damage technically because for auto attack cancels, you're getting 120 scaling from this while you're only getting half of each hit afterwards. So 35 and then whatever half of 35 is, I don't even know. Probably like 17.5, I guess. But right scaling, so I wouldn't want to do that math, but something around the 40, 75 plus 24, so about 100. You're getting 100 scaling from this about, and 120 scaling from this. So I guess you picking your choose your battles, but I think this is it's a nice way to make them stand out. But because like if you're not hardcore in the fight, then this is just worse. If you are hardcore in the fight, this is just better because it gives two useless stats on this, which is mana and MP5. Unless you're going trans, the mana is more or less useless in this day and age because it just and it is a fake stat right now. Like it's not super fake. Like sometimes yeah you do run out of mana, but that's only if you're out for a very prolonged period of time. Where yeah you probably should just back. Jace, after I'm finally glad that people are actually buying this item, is so good in the right circumstances. I think leave the item how it is. If you know, you know, and you'll buy it. Because losing 25% of your strength, that's an insane amount to lose, and it makes you near undiveable unless there's a lot of dive and it's just overwhelming amounts. And you don't have a support because your support is playing Cerberus and only dive in the back line and helping you by any kind of pill or whatever. And your carry's not there either to, kill. But, and Thor's just OP and dive in. And, fucking tanks are just hybrid are just so fucking OP, but, they don't want to nerf it for some reason. Yeah, that item's really good. Yelton's stable. I'm fine with it being super good and auto buy. I think maybe just bring down the strength 30, so it's just not auto buy. Because sometimes I would like to go Hydras first, but right, these items compete and like Crusher and Hydras compete. I think those are the two most competing items with Hydras, and Hydras just loses because 25% cooldown is insane. It's no other combo that you can get that gives you 25% cooldown. Just flat out, no other two items can give you 25% cooldown if you're auto attack assassin, if you're actually playing a true assassin and not going hybrid, because no other combo gives you that, and it's just so strong. So just remove a little bit of strength, just 5 strength, just to make Hydras once again stand out just a little bit more and make Crusher stand out just that little bit more. Learning Bow, I think it's actually really good, but I would be interested in maybe if you hit the ability, it has a 10-second cooldown reduction just to make just to maybe like rewards hitting it and getting it, because also having 4 seconds, only 4 seconds of the anti-heal on them is kind of weird because it has a 20-second cooldown and then like you can't really like constantly apply it, so it's like you have to make sure you hit it at the right time. I don't know, and it's a skill shot. No other anti-heal item is a skill shot. I guess if they're like right on top of you it's not then, but still you have to press the active item and it's not just always constant. Make it a little bit stronger, give it like 10 seconds. Actually, I would say make it 10-second cooldown. Because then also would just be a really good boxing item. It's 10 seconds for 130% of your base attack damage is actually really good. Because that's literally Hydras. You have a Hydras proc every. You have a Hydras proc without even having to use a basic attack, is what I'm saying. So your DPS can be up to, if you're just using this in a basic attack, 230% of your basic attack damage, or I guess strength technically. Would have just been, put on full display. Blah 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 blah. Leviathan side, I think this is really good. I don't know why no one buys it. I really don't, because oh my gosh, I just realized something. Susano reduces the strength that you do, or that reduces the strength of an opponent. So if you go Leviathan side, Jade Scepter, and Susano, because Susano reduces it by 10%, I believe, you can get someone down to what this is 20. Susano will be 30. This will be 25. You can get someone down to 45% of their strength. That is ridiculous. I'm gonna have to go like Susano support and like, or maybe I don't even know if it's gonna be support I do it in. Probably like jungle. You guys would just run this in jungle, and I think that'll actually be just so funny. I think that actually would be freaking hilarious. Wow, I just realized that. I don't know if people don't build this. I think just give it like 300 HP, and people might start building it again. Because I think once again, it's kind of like hiding meme line. I think hiding meme line is actually just busted, but no one buys it. But this one is more like it's good, but no one buys it because why buy it when you can buy hiding meme line? That gives you damage, hybrid once again. Um, um, Lifebinder, I think is in a good place. Magi's Cloak is in a good place. Mantle Discord, seeing these two items so close together just doesn't feel right. Give that 40, 40, 40. Masashi Dual Blades, I think just give it more strength. Put it up to 40 strength so it actually feels a little, because like, when would you ever want this over Deathbringer? Never really. Has a lot less power. Has slightly more crit, but in total you're going to get more damage out of this over time just because crit is just 25. Like whenever I think about crit, I think or at least when you get Deathbringer, crit is just whatever the crit chance is added to your base attack damage. So if you have 50% chance to crit, you have your base attacks are in the long run doing 150% damage. So it's really just bonus damage. Also, I think in general, crit chance should just be changed to bonus damage. So it's a lot simpler and a lot easier to follow, and it's not as RNG dependent. Because no one really likes RNG. So that's just me. And then that could be Deathbringer's passive. It just increases your bonus damage by 25%, doing the same thing it's doing now, but just make it less RNG. Mystical Mail got that into the ground. It shouldn't scale. It should literally just be for way clear for Guardians, in my honest opinion. So make it 30 30 magical damage per second. It should not be scaling. It just shouldn't, in my opinion. It's the function of it is for wave clear for Guardians. That should be the specialization. Let's stop it from being built in the jungle. And just my bad, not even in the jungle, just everywhere. Necronomicon, I think honestly this item's so weak. I don't know why people buy it. I don't know how I'll buff it because you can't make it, because if you're only losing 15 prots for it, I think so. Maybe it's fair. I don't know. I'm not even gonna talk about. I don't like the item. I think it's fine. It shouldn't be a good item. It should just be an okay item. Nimble ring I think is fine. I'll give it some pin. That's like the Smite 2 thing. If an item is just okay, let's pin on it. Like Hydras got pin at one point, which is crazy. Crusher got percent pin instead of the flat pin. I think that was actually a terrible change. Also, I can't wait till we get to Crusher. Where are we? Sworn Spear, I think it's a good item. Upshard, good item. Odysseus Bow, good item. Maybe buff it up to 50, so it's not even near Berserker Shield, which is crazy still. Honey Hunter's Garb. I really love this item. I think more people would need to buy it. It gives you 8 MP5. That's ridiculous. You are just spamming abilities at that point. Actually, that's not even MP5. That's just mana per second. Oh, maybe actually that is MP5. I don't know if Smite Live actually has MP5 or PS. Mana per second. Pendulum Blade I think is a really lovely item. It serves its purpose. Pharaoh's Curse serves its purpose. Phoenix Feather reduce the damage that it does. I don't even know why it does damage. I'm tired of junglers building that. I'm tired of just tank junglers. I really am. So just gut the item, reduce the prots by 45, reduce the health to 75, and take some of the damage. Take the damage off by half. We're gutting stuff, bro. Poly I think is actually really good. I just buff it up a little bit because the damage nerfs kind of affect this even heavier than other items because it double scales off of it or got double affected by it. Prophetic Cloak I think is really good for whoever can use it. So specialized item already. Kins make it to where if a target has less than 275 HP, they don't take damage from Kins. This will stop Kins from being built first item. I think that's disgusting that it can be built first item. So make that first and apparent, and then anyone that has over 200 or 2,700 HP, make it do like 5% of their base max HP, right? Because we need to make it clear that Kins is for tanks. It's for tanks. Or actually, I guess you probably should buff it a little bit more so it's actually really good against tanks. Because what you don't want it just good, you want it really good if you can hit squishes with the damage from it. So probably like 6 or 7% against the tank. Rod. Hmm. I think the only change I really do to this is make it so physicals can use this too. So 25% power. Or 35% power on that, or strength. Bonk is good. This reduced the HP down to 300, reduces strength down to 25. Got that item. Separated, and then you can increase like the prot scaling up to 60. Just make sure that you have to be building prots and remove base damage. It doesn't get base damage either because fuck that shit. So move it up to like 75% of your prots. But yeah, no, remove actually just remove strength entirely from this. Give it 10 strength. Scepter Dominion. Okay. I know this might sound crazy. Just make it happen instantly. But then it's an instant stun, and that would feel really freaking bad. That you can't react to. Make it 1.5 cast time, and make the base stats more attractive. So put like 300 health on it and take off 10 mana. Serrated Edge. The main thing that bugs me is that you can't use this on Pele. I don't really know what I would do for this. I think it's a okay item. Just buff the lifesteal on it up to buff the base lifesteal by 5, and then give it like 5 more with flat strength. Shield Splitter, I think is a fine item. Shield of the Phoenix. I'm fine with it. Actually, yeah, I'm fine with it. Shifter Shield, I'm fine with it. Shogun's, I'm fine with it. Soul Gem, I'm fine with it. Soul Reaver, I'm fine with it. It's really good late game, not really good early game. Alkin should be, in my opinion. Spirit Esso, really good. I like it. Spectral. Bro, you have to make it actually like do something to crit build. So when crit build is really good, you have a way to nerf it down. So probably put this up to like 30% attack chance they lose. So if you have one crit item and they have Spectral, it fully counters your crit item. I guess it does technically there. But just buy like a little bit more. And then or actually forget it. You lose 50% of your crit chance, but remove the attack speed. Yeah, remove the attack speed decrease. And make it to where you actually have to hit the enemy. So it's really strong if you hit them, and yeah, pretty much. Spear negation, I'm fine with that. Spirit robe. Spirit robe. I'm fine with that. Staff of Murden, I'm decrease it down to 90 seconds. Stampede, I'm fine with that. Actually, make it less. I hate Stampede when it was popular. Not really. So increase it up to 6 seconds, but make it decay down to 10. so you get that like longer burst of speed, but once you're like really towards the tail end, it's not going to be as big or noticeable. Fine with that. Nope. Take 10 prots off both. You want to decrease my prots by 10, I decrease your prots by 10. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Um, let's see. Some people I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Tekage. I think this is just a little bit more like it should, in theory, compete with Jotun's, or it should be stronger than Jotun's, but it's not. Give it 45 power, and then you're going to I think 40% movement speed isn't even crazy, honestly. Or give it like a little bit more cooldown. Do something like 5. Either you like give it 5 and 5 on both strength and cooldown, or give it 5 strength and a little bit more movement speed by 1%. So 3 times 3, so 9. Up scaling up to 9%. Cosmic Core, I'm fine with that item. Pressure. Make this flat damage so it's a lot better early game and give it 5% 5 flat pen to make this once again better early game. Kind of the same treatment I did with Doom Orb. Just make this actually an early game item, not a late game item, because this is already competing with Crusher, but Crusher wins every single day of the week. It's that unless you really want cooldown. That's the only time it doesn't win. But if you really don't want cooldown or don't need cooldown, nine times out of 10, Crusher is just going to be better. That's the problem. It just competes so directly with Crusher. Or not Crusher, but Heartseeker. Executioner, so just make this like down to make it like 50 like flat strength. And then if you really want to make it plus 15. But personally I think this should be like you get 50 flat damage. I think that would be or well I guess 50 flat damage over 1 second is kind of not that good. Because it's only giving well no, that's 100 and yeah, that's 100 more damage early game. Let's say like you're against 1,000 HP target. That sounds really good to me, right? Maybe you give it like a 75. Because what, 35% of your strength when you have let's see, I really don't know. 35% of like 400 is going to be 140. So it's already doing 140. So yeah, 75 seems kind of fair to me. Seems like a good middle point. I gotta use the restroom. I totally did not realize that my face cam died, so I really don't know what y'all been looking at for the past few hours or past few minutes. I don't even know when it died. Um, where were we? We were Phoenix Show, Deso. I said fine, fine, fine. Tokugage, okay, Cosmic Horror, Crusher, yeah. Make it like 75% or 75 damage. So if you use all three of your abilities, plus ult, I guess, we can say 150, 300 damage you're doing with this. Oh no, that's fuck ton early game, ain't it? No, but that's pre-pins or prots, so yeah, I'm fine with that. I think that's really what the niche should be. It should be a really strong early game damage item because there's not really just one yet. Like you have hiders, but hiders also skeleton in the late game, so I'm fine with that. And I think it just has enough difference between all three of them that you actually want to build something different. Because I don't even know the last time I even seen a Tekugage. So hopefully the buff I gave to that actually works out. Um, Executioner I think is fine. Reaper, the change I would do to this is make it more lifesteal. Make it more lifesteal. It should be giving you up to 50% lifesteal when you fully stack this because it is really freaking hard to stack this. And right now it only gives you what? 2.5 times 6. That's like what? 5 times 3 is 15. It's giving you 35 max. No, it should be giving you 50 max. And then the strength, I don't even care about the strength. It should mainly be a lifesteal item. So 50% 50% lifesteal to me personally. Max. World Stone, I do like World Stone. I think it has its place. It's a very specific item for specific people, and I like it. It's not just a broad apply this. Titan's Bane, I think is good. Totem of Death is good. Transcendence is good. I actually do the same thing I did with Devos. Remove 10 strength from the base and then give it like 20 strength from the evolution. Evolution. Yeah, I guess evolution, sure. Or, like when you're stacking it up. Yeah, I don't know the exact number that you need to give, but just give it like 20 strength when it evolves, I guess. I don't know. Triton's Conch, I think, is a really cool item. I don't see enough people buy it, so I'm going to buff it up by giving it a cost decrease. I think decrease the cost by like 20, maybe 200 gold, 300 gold. There's 300 gold on this item tier list, so let's say 250. Yeah, reduce it by 250. Okay, for this, give it 20% pin and make it the same cost as Titan Bane. Just straight up, or not Titan Bane, but Obsidian. I think pretty sure Titan Bane and Obsidian Shard are the same cost. A little bit cheaper. But yeah, just bring it up there and give it 25% pin. Because, but then why would people? Yeah, well, if you do that, then people are gonna want to build that. So, okay, maybe 15% pin. I don't know. It needs pin on it because because to go Typhon's Fane, you need at least Bancrofts. And Bancrofts is the next best lifesteal item. Is it even that? No, it's really not. So like going lifesteal build, you're just nerfing yourself so hard. So I don't know. Give it 15% pin and keep it the same cost. Actually, fuck it. Keep it the same cost. And Bancroft needs some love, or Typhon's Fane needs some love. Bancroft gets 5 flat pin too, in whatever edition I gave to it. I think I said give it like I don't know more lifesteal and int on it, so like probably like 50 base int, and then another base 10 lifesteal and 5 pin flat pin. I think we need like some amount of flat pin back in the game. I think the Bancroft Crush were kind of interesting back in the day when it was actually good and giving you like 100 int, and then the rest is history. Void Shield, I think leave it. Nope, fucking nerf that shit. 15 strength. And 35 prots. Void Stone. I haven't been seeing too many bruisers. Magicals. Nerf this junk. It gives way too much health. Nerf the int by one. Nerf the int down to 110. And nerf the health down to 4 or 370, I think. So 375, yeah. Because this makes you insanely tanky, and yes, it's a hyper luxury item. That's the point, but it shouldn't just make you like almost unkillable while you still do a shy level of damage. I should decrease the power to 100. And Yogi's necklace, I think the item is fine. Honestly, just buff it up to 500. Health and 700 or 7. Wow, 700 MP5 would be crazy. You're literally unkillable. 7 HP 5, and I think I would I think those are the changes I would do to these Smite items. Hopefully that would have fixed the bruiser meta. I nerfed Pridwin, I nerfed Glad Shield, I nerfed Berserkers, I heavily nerfed Mystical Mail. I nerfed Wishing Renting Pearl. That's another offender, I think, to me. Shifters I left the same because I don't you don't see it as much. I nerf Rune Forge by 100 HP and 10 strength. What else did I nerf? I didn't nerf Hiding Name Line just to keep carries in check. And yeah, that'll be the changes I do. And Avenging Blade, I split into Frostbound and Stone Cutting. And I nerfed Phoenix Feather. So I think I got all the main offenders of the hybrid meta. And then I buffed Breastplate just because I think Breastplate's more for your traditional tanks. You don't see it as much on your hybrids. Okay, and that's all the item changes. Thank you for watching this 53-minute video.